We announced some few minutes ago that we are going to be joined by the spokesperson of the Ayah family and president of the Ayah Foundation, Mr. Ayah Abine. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us tonight once again on Talking Point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mimi. You know how great I feel when I'm by you.
Thank you so much once again for coming. Mr. Ayah Abine, you are just coming back from Nigeria. It's not your first trip to that part of the continent to see the condition of displaced persons from the conflicted northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. What were your observations?
Yeah, it's the 5th trip in 6 months. We thank God for the graces. I just give you an anecdote to explain what is happening there. Before going there on this 5th trip, Ayah Paul and wife, the pioneer founders of the foundation, they instructed us to bring back some of our girls. So we had a big list of 50 people, and we ended up having a small list. We reduced it to 10 people. So I went there, and from amongst the 10, 7 were pregnant. Among the 7, my cousin. You saw the images, very painful memories. We came back with 2 of the refugees, girls. 1 is on the way. So that gives you an idea of what's happening there. The girls are getting pregnant, some of them through rape, like my cousin. The boys are begging on the streets to survive. Our great-grandparents and our grandparents are dying because of lack of medication and of hunger. Our mothers are doing the most despicable of things to feed their kids. That's what is happening in Nigeria. And the people back home who have a voice are rather talking politics and elections. It's a shameful thing.
So after going there and meeting these people, you've talked about their deplorable living conditions. Do you think that they are having the impression of ever maybe coming back to their respective localities? Because the government has time and again indicated that the people should return to their respective localities and that peace has returned. We saw the ministers that have been visiting these regions recently indicating that the situation is normalizing. Is that the impression that you saw there in Nigeria?
How do people return to their localities when their houses have been burned down to ashes? How did they return to those same places when they have those memories of some of their family members burnt in houses? I don't think even in ancient Siberia or during the Second World War, the atrocities that are being committed in Anglophone Cameroon, if you can call it that way, were committed that time. People burned in their houses. How do people come home when the few try to come home and get some of their belongings to go back there and survive? Because it's safer in Nigeria than in those Anglophone regions. How do they come? When some of them who come are shot. We're told of a refugee who came into Equinoxe to buy some foodstuff, and when they discovered he was a refugee and had a refugee card, he was arrested. How do those people come home? When did they come and stay? The houses are down to ashes.
So there are no accompanying measures put in place by the government to receive the refugees, so their comeback is not reassuring enough.
Anglophone lives do not matter to the government. If Anglophone lives mattered, the government would have at least acknowledged the presence of refugees over there. Look, it's been 2 years. We've had a number of speeches from those who matter. They are talking about refugees from another country who are up north and from another country that are in the east. They are going on national and international campaigns for them. And their own citizens, because I call those people Cameroonians until proof of the contrary, their nationality has not changed. Their own citizens, no noise, they don't care about them. They rather die there. That's the story. And I believe if all of them die there, that people in high places will be very happy. They don't care about them. They don't care about them at all.
There is the humanitarian aid initiative put in place by the government.
It's a sham.
To take care of internally displaced. Just started. You saw how gifts and foodstuff were being distributed to inhabitants of
to
Kwakwa,
20 people.
One of the most hit localities as far as this Anglophone crisis is concerned. We saw a similar gesture in Momo division of the northwest region of Cameroon, and the government is planning to do more. Why are you pessimistic about this initiative?
Mimi, it is better to believe salvation is coming tomorrow from heaven. I believe strongly that it's possible for Jesus to come down in flesh and blood tomorrow morning for the last judgment than to believe in this thing. It's a sham. What is the greatest humanitarian aid you can give to people than releasing their fathers, their brothers that are in detention? The whole nation, it's not just the Anglophones, are clamoring, release these people. Can you think of the stress that a mother, a sister, a brother is going through? Going to detention 3 times a day. My dad was locked up when he was kidnapped by people, forces of law and order, locked up for 8 months. I know what it means. Going to detention 3 times, 4 times a day, feeding your dad, feeding your brother, feeding your mom. What greater relief can you give to a people than releasing your people that are in detention? They won't even need those things again, if at all they're even destined towards them. And you talk of humanitarian aid. The greatest thing that can be done is a ceasefire. So what are you doing? You're calling the hen is coming, you're giving him granules and whatever, corn and whatever, those grains. And when he comes very close, you get the kids and you kill them. The hen goes away. You send some more grains, you feed it very fat, so that you put to bed, bring more kids, comes and you kill them. The greatest thing that can be done is a ceasefire. You can't be killing people, burning people in the houses, and you're giving them corn. It's a shame. It's disgraceful.
Mr. Ayah, the United Nations
High Commission
for Refugees is equally Nigeria preoccupied about the situation of Anglophone refugees in Nigeria, like you Ella indicated. When you go there, what is your evaluation of the relief, supplies, aid from the UN, HCR so far to the displaced persons, to the refugees?
There are a number of places I've gone to that the UN has not stepped foot there, or when they've come in their luxurious air-conditioned cars, possibly to just come and get some images and whatever. They're trying. But it is far from, very far, I'm not sure they're providing 3% of the relief that is needed. I don't know their reasons, but I believe if they can cut down, it's just like what the government is doing. If they can cut down their expenditure on luxury, just the air conditioning in your cars, it can get sleepers for those kids that have sleepers. Okay, I went to Benue State. There I was stopped by them from giving food to our people. They stopped me. We didn't understand why. They made some calls and said we cannot give food. We need to go and ride to Abuja and wait for Abuja to authorize us to go and give our people food in Benue. And while they were saying that, my cousins, kids, they were running from the camps. They heard we had come. They came and embraced me, and I told them, look, these are even my cousins here. They said, no problem. Even though you're your cousins, you need to ride to Abuja to get permission from Abuja.
Did you finally
they sent me
accomplish
back.
Your mission?
No, they sent me back. Okay. So I delivered nothing to Benue State. A shame. And my aunt is there. Person who, I can say, brought me up and took care of my dad when he was growing. His sister, direct sister, in that camp, Mami Sofina, she's there with those kids. And look at the people they're taking care of. Mr.
Ayah, the problem is there. It has been going on for several months now. We are now seeking for solutions. Have you a series of proposals or recommendations that you could give to the government of Cameroon as per the problems of those that are internally displaced, the refugees in neighboring Nigeria? If you were to give some recommendations or solutions to this problem of refugees and internally displaced, what would be these recommendations?
Well, I don't know if those people even listen, because a lot of people have said the same things, and they are consistent in wrong. I don't know why they keep on being consistent in wrong. If I could just remind them, there is no way we can go about this without calling for a ceasefire. It's he who declares war that calls for a ceasefire. We know who declared war. And once you declare war, I hear people saying, no, the government has legitimacy in violence. How can you say that kind of a thing? Anyway, that's for them. Once you declare war, you recognize that there is somebody. If it's you, they just send some 2 people to come and pick you up, you and me. But they declare war, so they have recognized that there is some big body opposing their whatever on the other side. So they have to declare a ceasefire. Ceasefire! Ceasefire! And withdraw the troops. We don't need the troops there. The population of those areas is considering the troops as enemies. They are their enemies. They can pretend and say bonjour and bonsoir, but they are considered an enemy. That's why nothing is moving between both of them. And I don't know how on earth we would ever reconcile the harmony that existed between the population of those regions and the military ever again. Withdraw the troops. We need the police there. As the people who have done a lot of bogus say, the police is your friend, though in Cameroon is the contrary. But we need the police there, we don't need the troops.
To play their role as law enforcement
officials. Yes, and once you call for a ceasefire, if the other side does not respect the ceasefire, then you have every legitimacy to come in again and say, okay, we call for a ceasefire, and these people are not respecting the terms of the ceasefire. How do children even go to school?
In this atmosphere, like you said, about back to school, do you think that is suitable, comfortable enough for schools or classes to effectively resume in the two Anglophone regions. We saw the SDO for Momo Division calling on parents to ensure that their kids are sent to school come September 2018.
That's drama he was doing. I was in Munya Market yesterday. I went to Munya Market the day before. I was in great supermarket. You see, even the business people are telling you that they don't believe there will be school. There are no books or pens in the market. When we were going to school, Mimi, that time, those days ago, I was even asking you out that time. When we were going to school, 3 weeks before it's a school resumption. No, a month before. You see the books. They even knock your door. All those people with those old books, coming to buy books, exchange, there is nothing. So everybody believes that there is nothing of such would happen. But I have a different opinion to this. You see, those advancing, those clamoring for the no school resumption, are hiding behind the safety alibi. It's not safe. I think that's the weakest of arguments to put forth concerning school resumption. Okay, where is safe? People have gone into hospitals, the no-go area, pulled out people in hospitals and shot them. Nurses have been killed. Ambulances are shot. Are the hospitals safe? No. Have we ghosted the hospitals? No. We're still going to the hospitals. The streets, the greater majority of deaths have been on the streets and in the bushes and the homes. You remember the Tebit, a whole family killed. Even a 1-year-old killed a whole family.
Yes,
have we
I should know that Barrister Bobala actually talked about it.
Good, a good guy, doing a good job, Barrister Bala. Have we ghosted the homes? No. Have we ghosted the streets? No. Are they safe? No. The churches, the no-go area, men of God have been killed. The churches have been attacked. One of them, to the knowledge, has been burned.
So what can be done?
I'm coming. So, are the churches safe? No. Are people going to church? Yes. So, the safety complaint is the weakest complaint you can put forth to say people should not go to school. I prefer saying this. We are humanitarians. We are about saving and preserving lives and improving on human life. So we can only say education for everybody. What do I mean? Those in the bushes need education. It's not just education for those in towns and those in the French-speaking part. Those in the bushes, education for them. Those in the refugee camps, they need to come back and go to school. Those in detention, my good friend Babila, a young guy, he was picked up and just taken to Kondengi. What's this crime? I don't even know. He too student. He needs to go to school. And those, all of them, Mr. Yuktabe, his cabinet had said, the manchos, the parents and all that, they are parents. They need to be out of detention
to send their children to school. But under what conditions? That remains the question, right?
When there is a ceasefire,
there's going to be possibility
everything
for
will be possible.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayah. Abine for joining us tonight on Talking Point due to time constraints. Obviously, we'll get to talk about this more and more in our subsequent newscast. Thank you so much for traveling all the way from Yaoundé to come and talk about this situation of the refugees and internally displaced. Thank you so much.
It's always a wonderful thing to be by you.
Thank you so much to our viewers. It was equally a pleasure having you with us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television. Wishing you a blessed day in the company of our programs. Until we meet again, goodbye.